Hi there everybody, my name's Adam Cleary and I want to talk about Declan Rice. Now, thought experiment, if I was Mauricio Pochettino, I'm not obviously, but if I was, I would be moving heaven and earth right now to sign Declan Rice. In fact, I don't think there's a football team on the planet who needs Declan Rice as badly as Chelsea need Declan Rice, but the beauty of transfers is that they go both ways. And additional thought experiment, if I was Declan Rice, I'm not by the way, but if I was, I would be moving heaven and earth to join Arsenal right now. Because I don't think there's a football team on the planet where Declan Rice could have as much fun as he could with Arsenal. In fact, I would go so far as to say that perhaps they might be perfect together. Alright, so really quick explainer of what Arsenal do, because I presume the majority of people watching this video are probably Arsenal fans, but just in case you're not, or just in case you haven't been paying attention, this is you. It's nominally a 4-3-3, but Arsenal are one of those teams, of course, who do that box midfield, where one of the midfielders goes over there, Zinchenko comes across from left back, the defenders shuffle around into a back three, and that's kind of how you do your build-up. But Arsenal do it slightly differently to Man City, because sometimes they'll just go absolutely loco, and Ben White will come into the middle as well, and they'll have this, like, 2-3-2-3 thing going on. Now, when they do it this way, it lets them have that little triangle between Partey and the defenders for the build-up, and then both the fullbacks, Zinchenko and White, can kind of invert and allow Martinelli and Saka to play slightly wider, or they can go outside and they can go inside. It gives them a lot of options, basically, but the two key players in all of this, as far as the Rice conversation goes, are Thomas Partey and Granit Xhaka. Now, the reason Mikel Arteta has his defenders all over the place and has these crazy build-up structures is because in these two players, Mikel Arteta does not have absolute faith, let's say. They both had tremendous seasons, it's not a criticism whatsoever, but in an ideal world, a team at Arsenal's level would have someone a lot more creative where Xhaka is and someone a lot more reliable where Partey is. Now, you're not really going to upgrade that front three without spending a load of money, and the defence when Saliba's in it is really solid, and Odegaard could have been player of the season. So these two, that's where you upgrade. And the reason you want Declan Rice here is because he actually improves on both of those players. I hear you say you can't possibly have Declan Rice replace two footballers, Adam. Well, if you're Arsenal, you actually can, because you will do the work of two of your existing players and do it better than both of them. Now, in this role in front of the back four, Thomas Partey is a perfectly competent defensive midfielder. Now, in the build-up, he's dead neat and tidy and he gets involved with the play, but in the purely defensive aspect of this job, he's a reasonably accomplished tackler. He makes the odd interception here and there, and when needs be, he can carry the ball further up the pitch. But let's just swap those out for Declan Rice's numbers a second, and oh no, he's a monster. Just in the opinion of little old me here, I don't think there's a better number 6 in the Premier League right now. Like, the slightly better tacklers, yes, Paulinho at Fulham, he wins the ball back more reliably, but he doesn't read the game as well, and he doesn't carry the ball as well. And then, like, Bruno Guimaraes at Newcastle, yeah, he's a great progressive carrier, yeah, he reads the game brilliantly, but he's not as reliable in the tackle. Rice kind of has it all. Like, just look at this, for example. Reads the game, and then bang, wins the ball. And here, bang, wins the ball, and then carries. How could you not want that in your team? Now, that's why he's better than Partey at number 6, but why is he better than Xhaka at number 8? If we just quickly look at the numbers, and every single passing metric you'd care to measure it, Declan Rice is much better on the ball than Granit Xhaka. So even before we start getting into the complex stuff, that's an immediate upgrade. But the one area, though, where Xhaka has got him absolutely dusted is in assists. He contributes to a lot more goals than Declan Rice does. And just putting aside the fact that he plays for Arsenal, who score loads and loads of goals, and Rice plays for West Ham, who score a lot fewer, and that should naturally explain a bit of a discrepancy. The jobs they do here also explain that. Xhaka's job in this Arsenal team, let's just pretend they're on some mad big attack here right now, is if he receives the ball in the final third, his job is to pass it to somebody else who's possibly a little bit more creative, and then what he tends to do is make this run in the channel to either be an option for a pass, or to create a bit of chaos, or to get onto the end of a cross, or just to contribute something in the box. The thing is, I'm just going to chuck this model away again, if Declan Rice was in the team, that is not what would happen. Declan Rice would receive the ball in the final third, and he would make a similar pass. He might go past one or two people. He might just do something a little bit simpler with it, but then he will occupy this central position. And the reason that could be so important to Arsenal is when Xhaka makes a run, that inherently means that somebody else can't do something. They open a risk of a counter-attack if they push too many men forward, and then if Xhaka's in the box, then possibly Saka can't be there, or possibly Martinelli can't be there, or possibly Jesus or Odegaard, or one of these players that can just score and create goals for fun can't do something because Xhaka's made that run. Declan Rice will not make that run. What he'll do instead is simply sit and hover and wait on the edge of the box while all these other players make runs and make passes and do fun stuff, and occasionally it'll come back to him and he'd be really good at recycling it and moving it around. But his job is when Arsenal lose that ball, he makes sure they don't then lose a goal. Having him in that team instead of Xhaka will literally allow 5, 6, possibly even 7 more attacking or creative players if they start messing around with the fullbacks to do their thing, because Declan Rice will be doing his thing. No team in the Premier League last season made more interceptions per game than West Ham, and no player in the Premier League last season made more interceptions per game than Declan Rice. In fact, and this one's slightly complicated, West Ham, as a percentage of the goals they conceded half as many counter-attacks as Arsenal did. Basically, you just don't easily break on a team that's got Declan Rice in it. So just to sum all this up for you, Declan Rice does Thomas Partey's job better than Thomas Partey, and he does Granit Xhaka's job better than Granit Xhaka, but that's not all. Not only does he recover the ball really well and make all these interceptions, but he can both carry it excellently and play amazing switches of play. Like, if you've just won the ball back in your own part of the pitch and you can either dribble around some players or hit a long ball to a man in space, you can kill teams so easily. And I mean, also, the main source of criticism Declan Rice gets right now is that, he doesn't contribute enough in the final third, he doesn't score enough goals, he doesn't get enough assists, but mostly because a lot of pundits in this country... Hang on, let me just explain what this butterfly mean. But you put Declan Rice in this Arsenal team around better players in games where he's going to be spending more time in the opposition third, where he's going to have more chances to do this stuff, and you watch, those numbers will go up. I just think he's neat. See, it's the knock-on effect to the rest of the team that I actually think is so cool about Rice going to Arsenal, because if they get him, then they can also go get another number 8 that can make magic happen on the edge of the box. They can go get other fullbacks who are perhaps better on the overlap or going outside, which will in turn allow Saka and Martinelli to play a lot closer to the goal instead of them having to hold the width. So yeah, I think genuinely they should buy him. Whatever the cost is, I'd spend it. Like, Arsenal have today been linked with a move for Kai Havertz of all players, and all the Arsenal fans I know personally are always talking about, how can we get Emile Smith-Rowe back into this team? How can we accommodate another creative player like Ødegaard without having to drop Ødegaard? And, well, that's how you do it. You buy Declan Rice. He'll completely replace Thomas Partey as defensive number 6, but also his progressive ability and his passing ability mean you don't need Granit Xhaka at number 8 at the same time. And not to be too poetic about this or anything, but the £92 million figure that's currently floating around for him is obviously a lot of money for one player, but when you're actually technically buying 2, it starts to look a lot better value. But anyway, that's just what I think. So Arsenal fans, are you excited about the prospect of signing Declan Rice? Non-Arsenal fans, are you worried about the prospect of signing Declan Rice? Whether your knees are quivering with excitement or nerves, I would like to hear about it. In the meantime, though, you can catch me on Twitter at Adam Cleary, Clery, 442, across the entire social spectrum at FourFourTwo. But until the meantime, I've been Adam Cleary. It's really, really hot in here, and I'll see you soon. Bye.